Hey, what's up, guys? Ron Harris here, Ron Harris Muscle. Today, a little departure from what I normally do. It's not an interview. It's not a contest coverage or anything like that. I want to highlight a young guy I discovered on Instagram who is not only impressively strong, big kid, and he's also hilarious. When you see him, you might think I was going to troll this kid, either for carrying too much body fat or for claiming to be Natty, but I think he definitely could be Natty. I don't think he's a liar. He's a very big, strong kid, Jack Gentile. Here is his Instagram, and let's take a look at some of these videos. And I have to have the volume up because he makes these commentary, he makes these poems almost for every video. And, you know, sometimes they're in poor taste, but hilarious. So I'm going to start. Let's see. Let's share the screen. Okay. Go to his Instagram profile. He's got almost 200,000 followers. He's also on TikTok, which I don't know much about. So he probably has 1 million followers on TikTok. Here's the first clip of his from Instagram.
World record dumbbell shoulder press. Shit flies before your eyes. I jumped straight to the 120s. I was loose like some poos. 150, she smelled fishy. I was hungry for more. Yeah, buddy. Get it. Let go. Come on, Nolan. Fuck. That's how we fucking do it. Let's go. World record dumbbell shoulder.
Now, those were not, he put kg. They're not 175 kilograms, which would be, I don't even know what, 350 pounds or something each dumbbell. So no, they were 175-pound dumbbells, which that is crazy to overhead press. I've seen only a few people ever do that or more. And these were guys that were 300 pounds, juiced out of their skulls. This kid's 18, even if he's on steroids, which I don't think he is. Maybe he is, I don't know. But even if he was, still super impressive. Let's go to another one. This is his squat day, and he's a very powerful presser and squatter. Check this out.
Squatting is fun. Haven't squatted in over a month. Let's see if I still got it. The bar flew like a fucking car. Threw on a plate. I declined the Tinder date. $2.25 for the gals. They were squirting like empty ranch bottles. Slapped on 3 jelly donuts. My jelly was all over the rack. 4:05. I took a drive to her best friend's house. I threw on 5 patties, no cheese. Shit flew like fucking ketchup. I wasn't that hungry, so I took a half a bite of the donut. I threw a 25 on. I'll be back to that 585 soon, don't worry. Until then, I'll be squatting 7 times a week. Squatting is fun. Haven't squatted in over a month. Let's see if I still got it. The bar.
So again, he does make the mistake of putting kilograms when these are pounds. Other than that, still very impressive. And next one is pure comedy. He's gonna show you a little stunt he did, eating some cat food.
You want to get big like a fucking cat? You gotta eat cat food. I train like I got 9 lives. Eat like a cat and lift like a lion. Don't be a puss. You want to get big like a fucking cat? You gotta eat cat food.
Now, there are big cats. There are big cats like lions, tigers, cougars, things like that, jaguars. House cat would not be on that list, but you know what the hell. This is very impressive, the leg pressing here, because we've seen El Campeon, the skinny Mexican dude out in California. He's literally from Mexico. He's not just Mexican-American, who piles on all kinds of weight and barely budges it. He's got to be at late 30s, early 40s, El Campeon, whatever his real name is. Jack here. Jack is only 18. I think he just turned 18 a couple months ago. And he gets some good reps with a lot of weight on the leg press. Let's take a look.
Let's leg press your daddy's truck as a high schooler. The machine flew like your sister's cream. Be 15, she better be 18. 675, she was wet like blueberry pie. Slapped 3 more double stuffed Oreos on him and gave her a quick little dunk. Shit flew like fucking paper. 24 plates later, I felt like I was taking my girl out to the buffet. 1,395 back shots later, she said it wasn't enough. 1,535 pounds later, I ate her out like an alligator. She finally couldn't take it anymore. Daddy's satisfied. Let's leg press your daddy's truck as a high schooler.
Yeah, so I don't think he does a lot of reps. I think he does a lot of max reps, single reps, ones and twos, which, you know, if you're training for strength, that's the way to do it, actually. So he's doing exactly what he wants to be doing. And yeah, God bless this kid, Jack Gentile or Gentilly. I don't know how he pronounces it. Take a look at one more, a cooking video, which even that he makes hilarious. Let's take a look.
We got 12 inches of meat. Let's make it. Roll your 12 inches straight on the counter. Wipe the wetness. Find a pan that could take all your meat. Make sure she's hot. Season it up so you can eat her fast. Rub it in a circle motion. Took a pic of my meat because she asked how many calories were in it. I made sure to butter her up, and then the meat went in, no problem. You should only last 2 minutes. Juices should be splattering everywhere. The meat came out looking wetter than ever. Oh my God! Ooh. We got 12 inches of meat! Let's make it! Bro,
yeah, we got any comments yet? No? Oh, we got no comments. Only a few people watching. I'm just going to show you a couple more videos. I think this kid's hilarious. Super, super strong. 18 years old. Amazing that he can push these weights. He carries this much size. Yeah, he could be leaner. Of course, he could be leaner. There's no question about that. But geez, it's a ton of muscle mass.
Back exercise that will make you scream like a monkey. Make sure to get your potassium in. 500-pound pull-ups like a monkey. Bananas are loaded with nutrients. Make sure to take them in the app. Back exercise that will make you scream like a monkey.
I don't know what app that is. It takes a picture. You take a picture of the food, but everything seems to be 1,831 calories. Do you want to show you another cook? His cooking videos are pretty funny, man. Let's see. Well, shoulder press.
Stop being a clown and get under the Smith.
I'm fucking starving today. Only drank a bottle of water. Let's move some shit. 135 is a new 45. Come on. 2 plates, this shit about to take off. Come on, let's go. 4 little fucking crackers. Yeah, we still getting loose. 315, I was pressing this shit at 14. I think Linkin Park might have Limp Bizkit beat. Who knows? That's an overstatement. 365, you gotta wake the fuck up. Can't be sleeping under this weight. Whip for my elbow strap so quick to get some pneumonia. Fast, fast, fast. Yep. So y'all are like 405 on the Smith. Oh, that shit don't count. You fucking get under it. We got a couple grown men on this fucking bar. Let's go. We got Big Connor in the back.
Stop being a clown and get under the Smith.
I agree with what he said. I mean, 405 on a Smith machine, it's not as impressive as 405 on a barbell, but you know what? You do it. I bet most of us, I think I tried it once in my life, 405 on a Smith machine for shoulder press. I had somebody helping me, so God knows how much I was really doing. It's a lot of weight. So I'm impressed, even if it is a Smith machine. It's still weight. Well, here's a 600-pound squat. Let's see.
Let's work up to a 600-pound squat. We're at the public gym. Let's catch some airtime with the squat bar. I heard they had no gravity here. Let's see if that's true. Let's put an Oreo on there. Let's go. Let's go. Get tight. We got a fucking popsicle stick on our back. 3 Oreos. So we're bringing my fucking milk. I'll take a hop with the shit on my back. 3 cookies tickled my stomach. Let's take a bite of a 4th one. This shit ain't nothing new. We got 40 grams of creatine in here. 5 plates. We get it serious now. Let's go. 6 plates equals more dates. I'll get a baddie after this. I move slow. Don't touch me unless I start dropping. Slowest music possible on right now.
Oh, yeah.
Ah! Ooh, oh, if I hit that. Fuck. Was that short again? All right, thank you. Oh, fuck no. Oh. Let's work up to.
So that was 600 pounds. I mean, could have been maybe an inch or two lower, but damn, 18-year-old kid squatting 600 pounds on a barbell. Pretty impressive. I'm impressed. And I don't impress easily. What do I want to show you? I just want to show you how I like the fact that he's just a goofball. He's not worried about, looking cool or anything like that. As you can see here. Here he's in his high school, running around in a gorilla suit. Still in high school. Amazing, man. Yeah, one more gorilla, because I can't believe he went into the wall. I mean, that wasn't. I haven't seen too many people do 80-pound curls. I know that wasn't like the strictest curl. And now these videos you're backing up. This is when here's a little video that shows you what he used to look like before he started getting as bulky and put on as much body fat. Just so you.
Five burgers on the cut. Let's eat them.
Yeah, man. So, any comments, guys? No, we got 6. Let's see. What do you guys have to say about him? What's up, Sarkos? Arevish pesas. That is all the Armenian I speak, my brother. Yeah, finally his real voice, because it's like a character. It's almost like a pro wrestler. Yeah, let me tell you something, Mean Gene. Like Hogan and those guys, Macho Man used to do. But you actually do hear him speak sometimes. He's natty because he says so, or his blood test. Well, special ed, I've never seen any evidence. I honestly don't even care if he's natural or not. The weights he's moving as an 18-year-old, even if he was juiced out of his skull, I would still be impressed. That's a lot of friggin' weight this kid moves. And I understand he's got a lot of body fat, but he's got a lot of muscle mass too. His height, he claims to be 5'11". I don't know if he is or not. Other people are saying he's more like 5'7", 5'8", but man, he's a big friggin' kid. Banana Monkey clip. Yeah, he's hilarious. Going to show later. No, Sarkis. He's talking about today is the NPC Jay Cutler Classic in Boston, but I'm going to see a guitar virtuoso named Buckethead. Some of you might know who he is. If you're really into guitars and that style of rock, it's like guitar virtuoso. It's like 3 hours guitar solos. He does have a drummer and a bass player. It's Buckethead. Buckethead was with, he always wears like a Michael Myers mannequin mask and a KFC chicken bucket on his head. This will be the 3rd time my son and I have gone to see him. So that's why I'm not going to the Cutler show later. Going to that with my son. Why'd I have to be elite separate from? Well, I don't know all the details of why the IFBB Pro League and Elite, they split off from what was just called the IFBB. In 2017, I believe it was 2017. I think so. I think that was the year it was. What's his name? Can't remember his name right now. Over in Spain, he runs the IFBB Elite, and Jim Mannion runs. What the hell's his name? So I can't multitask. I can't think of too many different things at once. Someone will tell me in the comments in a minute. They split up, and so Jim Mannion runs the IFBB Pro League, which still has all the prestigious events, Mr. Olympia, the New York Pro, all those, Arnold Classic, and then there's the IFBB Elite over in Europe mainly. How's his name? Rafael Santoja. So they're never going to reunite again. They don't like each other. They'd both like to see the other one gone. So no, there's absolutely no chance they're ever going to reunite. Raymond seems very one-dimensional. You need to watch some more depth like Sam's like. Well, Sam's serious. I understand Sam's content it's more real in terms of he's explaining what he does and his motivations, how he's feeling that day, what's going on in his life, things like that. This kid is like pure entertainment, comedy. I assume he's trying to be funny. He must be with all the masks and everything. But it's just a different style. I mean, Solik obviously is doing wonderfully with the style of content that he produces. Millions and millions of, 30 million followers, 20 million, 30 millions of followers on Instagram, many, many millions of followers, millions of subscribers on YouTube. Yeah, Sam's content resonates with a lot of people. This kid's a nice alternative. Natty doesn't matter to me with cringy, hilarious, sweet Sarah. Yeah, you don't have to like it. Harry Palms runs Harry Palms. No, it's actually Rafael Santoja Jr. Let's see if there's anything else I want to watch from this youngster. This is when he was only 17. 17-year-old chest presses. Let's see there.
You're gonna be misidentified for a girl after this dumbbell press motivation.
Let's see what we got in the tank today. Come on. Are we doing anything? Of course we're fucking doing something. Lifting some weight. Let's go. Oh, shit. We hungry today. Let's go. 115. I paid $15 for a pound of chicken last week. Let's go. We got a little middle schooler in our hands. Let's go, let's go. Oh, wait.
Oh. Yikes.
Grab it! Yo, that's that big stepper shit.
You're gonna be misidentified for a girl after this dumbbell press motivation.
Let's see what we got in the tank today.
Yeah, someone actually in the comments said something rude. Never seen so many dudes angry at a kid for making content. That's just shits and giggles. He's big. He looks crazy. Yes, he's not shredded. Do you want him to be shredded for what? For reviewing? You're a grown man. Come on, let him do his thing. Exactly. You don't have to like it. You don't have to appreciate his content.
The chicken last week.
Some of you will like it, and some of you are going to be like, oh, thanks for showing me this, Ron. Some of you will be like, this kid sucks. Just pictures you can see. That's what he looks like normally. Young LA sponsors him. Huge kid, man. Huge. Yeah, and I know I people always get triggered when I say someone's natty because it's like, oh, he's not natty. You know, how could somebody that young be that big natural? I honestly, I'm not vouching for him, and I don't even care if he's natural or not. I really don't.
We got more cake! Let's make it!
Put it in the microwave. 32 seconds. She's gonna try it. Give your honest review. Yes or no?
Yeah.
How much out of 10?
5.
5 out of 10. We got more cake. Let's make it.
Yeah, I think he's hilarious. Personally, I think he's hilarious. Pro social media back in the days would be a lot more beneficial. Oh, I mean, I often, I wonder, social media hasn't been around that long. I wonder what it would have been like if we had Instagram, forget about Facebook, I guess. What if we'd had Instagram and TikTok and YouTube 30 years ago, 40 years ago? Yeah, we would have really gotten to know these athletes, all the pro athletes, on a much deeper, more personal level, because they could have been posting content every day, showing you what they do in their daily lives, family, friends, gym, hanging out, food shopping, whatever. Everything gets put on social media now that these athletes do. But back then, all we had was the magazines, and there would be like interviews with them, workout articles. They might be mentioned in a gossip column here and there, but we didn't know a whole lot about them as far as their day-to-day, what they were really like. Usually we only saw them, pictures and videos of them, usually pictures, when they were in contest condition. So we never even saw these people off season unless they were guest posing or something. I think a lot of people back in the old days, before social media especially, assumed that these pro bodybuilders were always huge and ripped because that's the only images we saw of them. Unless unless they were guest posing or something. But man, we would have had a whole different perspective on these guys. He's funny to me, Randy Savage style. Yeah, you love him or you hate him. I get it. Honestly, when I first saw him, I thought he was annoying, and then I started watching it, and he grew on me. It took a couple weeks. I started looking at his content. I was like, you know what? He's just having a good time. He loves training. He's super strong. Clearly, he loves to eat. I mean, what's not to like about the kid? You might not like the fake persona, the It's like a pro wrestler voice. You might not like that. That might rub you the wrong way. Why does everything have to be yelling? That's a character. It's like, do you guys, some of you probably follow, a lot of you must follow because he's got millions of subscribers on YouTube, Coach Greg Doucette. Coach Greg Doucette does most of his videos in this high-pitched, whiny voice that reminds me of the parrot, or Gilbert Gottfried as the parrot in the Aladdin movies. I can't remember the parrot's name. Who cares? But that's not his real speaking voice, because other times he speaks normally, and you realize that voice, the high-pitched, whiny voice, shouting almost, it's all for the camera. That's not his normal speaking voice. But it gets your attention, and clearly it got a lot of subs and views. He's got, like I said, I think Coach Greg has 3 million viewers on YouTube, and every video he puts out is like a minimum of 100,000 views. So clearly a lot of people dig it. Craig Goliath in high school. He does remind me of Craig Goliath. Craig Goliath is like, yeah, you call him a bodybuilder. He's a bodybuilder. To me, I believe he's got all kinds of stuff in his shoulders and arms. He's got a little head. He does all these pictures where he's like leaning back, and you see this massive, like looks like a 30-inch arm and 400-pound body with this little peanut head on top. So, yeah, Craig Goliath in high school. Yeah, I think this kid's hilarious, man. You know, like I said, you don't have to like him. Let's see if there's anything else from him. Sutural secret to fat triceps, shoulder press, sleeper builds. Got a motorcycle too. Good for him. Okay. Yeah, I think the kid's funny. I think he's super strong. What's this? So he's 17 here. This was 36 weeks ago. He's 235 there. He's probably put on 15 or 20 pounds. But that leads me to believe he must not be 5'11". If he was 5'11", even right here, he would probably be more like 260 to 270. So I'm going to take a wild guess and say he's probably more like 5'7", 5'8". I don't care. I'm only 5'7.5" now. I was never much more than 5'8". So, you know, I don't rip on guys for being short. I never would. That'd be the pot calling the kettle black, as we say. But he's probably not 5'11", as he claims. And again, I don't care. I just think he's funny. Anything else funny? Hunting for the creatine.
Pizza, because I love pizza. Perfect for senior year. Oh, yeah. Tighten the straps. Fit my books in here, my creatine. Where's the creatine? Pizza, because I love pizza. Perfect for senior year. Oh, yeah. Tighten the straps.
Yeah. Someone said, why all the 5'2" guys say? Oh, what's this? Yeah, I think he's hilarious. Why are there only 18 people in this live? Well, I didn't announce it, and it's not like if I had in the title like Nick Walker or Martin Fitzwater or something, I'm sure there'd be a lot more people in the live. That's fine. It's fine. I appreciate all you guys who are joining me on this. Ron, your son's coverage prevents you from hitting Pittsburgh. What about the New York Pro? Honestly, guys, I'm making enough money to pay all my bills, but I don't have any extra money. As far as like going down to New York Pro, I can drive there, so it's only a couple tanks of gas, but it's like $300 a night at the hotel. I'd have to be there 2 nights if I want to grab some interviews. The channel doesn't make that much money. I do have a sponsor. Thank you, Euro Muscle. But just as far as the return on my investment, it wouldn't make any sense. And, you know, to his credit, promoter Steve Weinberg, we had a conversation a couple months ago, and he said he would give me a good seat, press pass. So we'll see what happens. Maybe things will change between now and then because, yeah, I'm definitely not going to Pittsburgh. My son is competing that day at the Natural Massachusetts Championships. You know, I want him to he's doing one OCB show a week from tomorrow. That's May 4th. The OCB Spirit of America, that's a natural organization. And then the NPC has a natural event that same Saturday, 6 days later. So he's going to hit that because it's the natural Massachusetts. I wouldn't put him in a non-tested show. He doesn't have a lot of muscle mass. He's in really good condition. He's a great poser, but he's 5'7". He's 134 pounds right now. He's going to be, I'm going to have him do open bantamweight at the natural mass because he's a bantamweight, and I'll have him do true novice because it'll be his first NPC show. So good times. Craig always out angling bathroom doors, man. Craig Elias, yeah. How Lee Priest would compare. Oh, at 18. Well, Lee was built far, far better, obviously. Lee was probably one of the best built 18-year-olds in the history of mankind. He had won the Australia title twice by that age, I believe. It's 17, or was it 17 and 19? As a teenager, he won the Open Australia, not the teenage Australia. He went in against all the grown-ass men. He won it twice. They didn't give Lee a pro card because they thought he was too young. But then a couple of years later, he was out in California. He was going to do, the guy I was working for at the time actually flew him out from Australia. And he was going to have Lee stay there for a while. We do some filming with him. This is for the ESPN American Muscle Show. And then Lee was going to do the Niagara Falls Pro-Am show as an amateur, which was a couple weeks later. Jim Mannion happened to be at Gold's Venice, met him and come up and said, geez, who are you? I'd never heard of him before. Immediately got on the phone to Wayne DeMiglia in New York and said, get this kid expedite a pro card for this kid. Let's get him in the Niagara Falls as a pro. And I think he was 7th place at his pro show that he was supposed to do as an amateur. Just found out from Muscle Discord there's no stream for Pittsburgh. What? That, I don't know about that. I go on Muscle Discord usually every Monday night. So I know Matt Sinkerang is, he does his research and everything, but I don't know where he found that. That's awful, but I don't believe it because we still have almost 2 weeks before Pittsburgh. Yeah, we have like 2 weeks. Pittsburgh's 2 weeks from today. So there's still time for them to put a live stream together. Start selling feet pics. No, I've had offers, Kane, for weirder things than that. Webcam stuff. And I'm like, no, man, not only am I way too old and, I'm a dad, I just have my dignity. And no offense to the people who do all that stuff, the cam work and whatever, but no, it's not me, man. I don't want to do it. Happy for your son. I mean, I'm very excited. It's his first show. He's 25 years old. I started competing at 19, loved it, had such amazing experiences, met so many cool people. I'm very excited for him. Let's see, let's crowdfund you now, man. No. I wouldn't do crowdfund. I wouldn't do a GoFundMe. I'm not going to ask people for money. I mean, if I want to go, I need to come up with the money. I mean, I do some coaching. I'm not complaining. I'm not broke or anything. I'm paying my bills. I'm getting by. I'm doing okay. I just don't have extra money. And going to these shows for years and years, I had my job sent me, Muscular Development. I worked for them for 20 years, and I was probably covering shows for them from about, even though I was only online editor from 2017 to 2023, I was going to shows working for them probably from like 2010 on, I want to say. So they sent me a lot of trips. They always paid for my airfare, my hotel. I had a couple $100 a day for meals. So I didn't have to spend any of my own money. I mean, and in my head, I said, why should I? I'm there for work. The company's hiring me to go work there. I shouldn't have to pay for anything. But now that I'm on my own, I have to cover every little expense, and those things add up. Dan, Jake, let's get around the Olympia. Well, I'd love to work for the Olympia in any capacity. And, they know I'm interested. And we've had conversations, but nothing's ever come of it. It's kind of like, when I was with MD, I'm not just singling them out, but there were a few people who said, man, too bad you're working for MD. I'd love to have you on my team and this and that. I'm like, oh, okay. And then MD was gone. And all of a sudden I hit these people up and they weren't interested anymore. I think it's kind of like a lot of women are into like married men because they know they can't have them. But if a married man suddenly gets divorced, they're usually not interested in him anymore. They only want him because he was married and unattainable. Once they could have him, they didn't want him. So what a weird analogy for myself in employment. I know. Sweet Jesus joke been offered weird as well. Well, I'll tell you one of the weirder things. Someone wanted to buy my used posing trunks. This is probably like 15, 20 years ago. It was a long time ago. They wanted them to still smell. They said, don't wash them. So I said, okay. And, we negotiated, and I was going to get $600 for a pair of my crappy old posing trunks with, sweat and posing oil and stuff on them, tanning crap. He never gave me the money, but I was ready to send him that. I mean, that I would have done. It's not like I was selling him my semen or something. It's my used trunks. I'm not about to do anything like that anymore. I'm not desperate for money, guys. I hope it didn't come across that way. I know what you're saying. The economy is a bastard. It's not I don't know if it's the economy to blame. It's just, what I do is very niche. What I did for MD was very niche. Magazine writer. There's like no magazine writers anymore. And there's very few writers making any money in bodybuilding anymore. Very few. I mean, they can go, anybody who needs an article on something, maybe an interview is different, obviously, because you have to speak to a person, but you can go to Chat GPT and say, give me an article called 8 Ways to Lose Body Fat Fast. And it'll spit out an article, which, you might have to do some minor edits, but you got a ready-made article for free in like 10 seconds. So yeah, AI has put a lot of writers out of work. Just like it's put a lot of artists out of work. That was between you and me, bro. Funny. $600. Yeah, $450. No, it was I don't know what the initial offer was. I think it was $500, and I said, let's do $600. He's like, okay. Money never came. I was ready to send it. I mean, do you want to take? It's like that woman there's a woman that sells farts in a jar. I can't remember her name, but it was some chick. Showing my age here, calling a woman a chick. Some woman, young woman, was selling her farts in a jar. She would fart in a jar, put the lid on. I think she put a rose in there too. Anyway, $1,000, and she was selling like 5 to 10 of those a week. So think about that money. 10 times 1,000 is $10,000 a week. That'd be like $300,000 a month, right? Times 12 months. So over $1 million a year she could have been making from her farts. I mean, I fart all the time. If somebody was paying $1,000 for my farts, woo-wee, I could have a palace in Bel Air. I could have a yacht. I could have Lambos, all that crap. Chat GPT ain't that good. I've never, people have been telling me to download it, and I don't even know if it's free or not, but I just haven't got around to doing anything about it. Yeah. But, like the AI art, like I use occasionally I'll use an AI image for my thumbnails and stuff. They look pretty cool, but they're very obviously AI. I'm sure it's going to get better as time goes by. Her boyfriend was definitely filling the fart jar. I don't know if she had a boyfriend, but you know what? I would never want to be with a woman that was like, I guess nudes are one thing, but there are a lot of guys who have these OnlyFans girlfriends, and the girls are having sex with other men on camera. They're basically porn actresses, except, it's not a porn production company. It's just them doing it on their own. They're producing their own porn. And a lot of them, they say, well, that's not cheating on my boyfriend. That doesn't count because that's work. Kind of like how a prostitute would probably consider that, or an escort. That's work. It's not my personal life. But these guys are fine with it because I guess maybe because they're making so much money and the guys are enjoying that lifestyle and they don't have to come up with all that money for her $5,000 bags and $3,000 high heels and trips to Fiji and Ibiza and all these places these guys go. $250. Even if I was only selling $100, of charging $100, I would make a lot of money. The Real Report. Copyright content right BA and internal relations, many political science. I work contract based at time. Do a good job. I also work with AI annotations. Yeah. $38 an hour. Yeah. I mean, I look back and I hate to be that guy that keeps looking back, living in the past, but oh man, I was making really, really good money at writing for a long time. I actually made more money before I went full time. The couple years before I went full time with MD, I'd say probably from like 2010 to 2015 were my highest earning years. And I had a couple years over 200 grand. I think I had like 3 years in a row over 200 grand. And it would be like, even with MD at those times before I was on staff and working on a salary, I was paid per article and it was $750. And that was whether it was a column or an article. And I could bang out sometimes 3 or 4 Q&A columns a day at $750 each. So the money was great. So I'm very, very appreciative that I had that opportunity. And in my heart of hearts, I knew it wasn't going to last forever. Times change, technology changes, things, magazines they had a hell of a run and now they're just not the way people get their information and their entertainment anymore for the most part. So, who knows? I mean, there's still things that could happen. I'm optimistic. Tried an internet business called Panties for Prisoners. Chicks, yeah. The prisoners had money for these panties. Well, Try getting remote jobs, writing your CV qualifications for broad stuff you've been doing. Thank you for the. Yeah, I mean, obviously, fitness writing is my niche. I go on I'm on LinkedIn, and like, there's all these jobs for writing in like medical field and law, real estate. It's things I have no interest or knowledge about. I mean, I sort of painted myself in a corner. I'm very good at what I do or did or do, but it's a pretty limited range that I work in. It's the fitness and bodybuilding realm. So yeah, but I hope I'm not complaining, guys. I'm not trying to complain. I'm not. I'm okay. I'm very grateful to still be able to pay my bills. My wife works, my son works, everything's okay. It's just, I don't have a lot of extra money. There was a time, I really handed it to my wife. She's been with me when we had like no money, when we were living paycheck to paycheck. She's been with me when we had tons of money, for us, tons of money. And we weren't like rich, but for both of us who grew up with not very much, it was a lot of money for us. And we had some nice things. We bought some nice things. We went some very nice vacations and so on. Had some nice cars. So, I'm not complaining. I had a great run, and my story's not over yet. Things will turn around. I'm not complaining, guys. I'm doing fine. Anyway, I want to go walk my dog, Branch, and tonight I'm going to see Buckethead, the guitar virtuoso. Yeah, they've written for magazines. 100,000 readers. You have a narrow mind. No, I mean, I'm sure my writing. I've had 5,000 articles published or more, so I'm sure my writing has reached millions of people over the years. My videos have reached millions of. Bodybuilding is what I know, and it's what I love. So yeah, I had a great run. You're still the fucking man. Yeah, I hope I didn't. When I say I had a great run, I don't mean to say, like it's all over. I'm retired. I give up. No, man, I don't give up. I'm not giving up. No, not at all. But yeah. Where am I? Anyway, guys, appreciate you watching today. I'm gonna go walk my beautiful pit bull, Branch the Buppas. Branch, my good boy. And that's it. So thanks for watching. I will talk to you guys later. Have an awesome weekend. What's left of it. Peace.